Section 1, extrinsic versus intrinsic. People think that they reward themselves from doing the thing, that action, those good habits that help them get closer to their goals with bad ones. Like if you've gone to the gym for a couple of weeks, you think that now you can just dilly-dally on your diet, binge eat whatever junk food you want, and skip the gym as a reward. Or you worked on the business for a couple of days, you worked on that product, you did deep work, you did some calls, and you think now you can just go straight back to your old habits and, scroll on social media for 8 hours a day and eat the junk food and watch TV and jack off, and it's fine. And you can justify it by saying, well, I did the hard work, so why can't I? Like, why not? We've all undergone like a similar process before. A process at which we are rewarding ourselves extrinsically for things that reach us towards our goals. We got rewards, and what rewards are so wrong. We should be rewarding ourselves intrinsically rather than extrinsically for the things we do. So what are these concepts? Well, intrinsic rewards are rewards within ourselves. It's the satisfaction and happiness from completing hard shit. It comes from within. It's liking the work for the work. Not doing the work to get a reward or a result. Rather, you're doing the work out of sheer passion and love, out of just doing the work. And extrinsic rewards is that reward that if you do X, you can get to do Y. It's the rewards that are outside of you. So for example, if I go to the gym, then I get to binge eat. That's an extrinsic reward. And that's based on the premise that you're doing this task not because you love it, but because you gain something from it. And the biggest extrinsic motivator is goals. Like the premise of a goal is that if I do X, I get Y. If I go to the gym, eat clean, and recover well, then I get an aesthetic body. Now, there's nothing wrong with goals. I'm not saying that you shouldn't strive to have goals. Goals are pivotal in progress. But the thing that is the real problem with goals is that attachment you get to them. That attachment makes you not being able to intrinsically reward yourself. And what do I mean by attachment to your goals? What I mean is a lot of people, when they set a goal, they say, feel, or think whatever that once they achieve their goal, then they can be happy. Once I get the aesthetic body or the 10K a month, then I can be happy. Once I get the aesthetic body and the 10K a month, then I can be proud and prideful. Once I get that dream job, then I can be fulfilled. Once I get that, once I, get my mind right, then I can be at peace. Those ideas are the problem. That's the attachment of the goal. That you're basically attaching that goal to your desired state, your desired feeling, and that is the problem. The belief that these goals are supposed to give you a sense of fulfillment, that you achieving these things are going to be the reason that you can finally be happy or proud, that's extrinsic. You believe that this goal, something beyond yourself, can help you internally, and that's all wrong. How you feel internally affects your external. That idea and frame is literally backwards, and I can prove it to you. This study real quick. In a study they had 2 groups, or how many groups of kids. You can search up the experiment. It's I don't know the name, but I'll put it up. But basically in this experiment, groups of kids were tasked to draw, and one of the groups were promised a reward after the drawing, and the other groups weren't. And they found that the groups that were promised a reward did less of that thing and produced worse drawings and had less passion and desire to complete the drawings and art. While the group that didn't get a reward or wasn't promised one drew more, they produced better works of art and they had more passion and overall better happiness when drawing. This is because internally they believed that creating the art and perfecting their craft was the reward rather than an external reward. Actually, even neurology is backing this up. When you reward yourself externally with something after doing the thing, your neurons actually create signals to your brain. And those connections only release dopamine if you get the reward, and only if you do. Or, you probably will release dopamine, but you won't release as much if you don't get that reward. So let's put it into context. If you're going to the gym and every time you go to the gym, you reward yourself with a cupcake, over a certain amount of time, your brain will then only release dopamine, that feel-good hormone that gives you pleasure, if you eat the cupcake. So imagine you take that cupcake away, that extrinsic reward. You're not going to feel as great for going to the gym. And also, if you just go to the gym to get an extrinsic reward, which is the cupcake, you're not going to train as hard or have as much passion and dedication to the gym. Imagine like there's two people, a person with an extrinsic like reward, like a cupcake, and a person that just loves going to the gym for the sake of it. And they just have passion and dedication to the gym just because they love just going to the gym. That passion and dedication in the gym will translate ultimately leading to more desired results. It's like that saying, focus on the journey, not the destination. Not because the destination is not important and you shouldn't focus on it. But if you're only focused on the destination and not the journey, you'll stop before you can even get there. And actually focusing on the journey will make you more progress on your goals. I think that's the true essence of what that's trying to say. And that's what I'm going to try to tell you here. A lot of people reward themselves for the work, especially through goals and results, that you can only be at peace or happy when you have this thing. And what this does is it makes your brain not feel as much happiness and fulfillment with like the journey, that when you don't have this thing, you can't be happy or at peace with yourself. So when you're doing those things, those habits that get you closer to your goals, the things you have to do, and if you don't, you won't achieve your goals, you're always in a state of conflict or anger and sadness. And this will make you achieving your goals miserable. You won't even enjoy it because you're not intrinsically rewarding yourself. In order to achieve a state you want internally, remember your external world is influenced by your internal, not the other way around. So you have to feel like what you want to feel internally in order to see it in the external world. Section 2, the true nature of goals. What is a goal? What does the goal give you? Like when you make a goal, what is the thing you're actually trying to achieve? When you write down on your wall that aesthetic body or 10K a month and plaster it on your wall, what are you actually trying to say? What is the true and actual goal? Is the true and actual goal to just get the aesthetic body or that 10K a month? Or is it to reach fulfillment or happiness with life? Or to be at peace with yourself? What is it? Well, the true nature of a goal is not the goal you wrote down or you're thinking about. It's a state, a feeling. You want to get an aesthetic body so you can be happy and have more confidence. You want that 10K a month so you can be at peace and be proud with yourself. But what if I told you that you can already feel those things without the goal? That you can feel the peace, the confidence, the fulfillment, the happiness with where you are right now. Even if you're obese, even if you're a basement dweller, even if you're dead broke, you can feel all those things in the state that you're in right now. The true nature of goals is you saying to yourself or the universe that you're going to set a contract, that this external thing will give me peace, happiness, and whatever it is. That this external thing, this result, those six-pack abs, those 20-inch arms, those $10,000 every month in your bank account, that those will give you your desired state. And all your desired state is just an emotion. It can be fulfillment, happiness, whatever. And all a goal is, it's that contract to yourself in the universe that you would do anything and everything in your power to reach that desired state. But if you can already reach a desired state without that thing, then really how important is the goal? I'm saying all this and that it's cool and all, but how do you actually go and do this? How can you reach your desired state without actually seeing and achieving your goals? And I'm not saying you shouldn't strive to be anything, that you shouldn't work towards things. I'm not saying that. All I'm just trying to say is, and my main point is that the attachment of the goal is the negative thing, not the goal. Not the goal itself. When you place emotions and energy and make you achieving that goal the driving factor on when you can feel your desired state or not, that's when it's a problem. That's when the goal is a problem. I'm not saying don't strive and work, just be lazy. I'm simply just telling you how to detach from the goal in order to actually work harder in a sense. Once you detach from this goal, you can actually work harder. And I'm just trying to show you that that's the better way instead of just focusing on the goal. Section 3, detachment of the goal. So we understand that the true goal is a desired state, whether that's happiness, fulfillment, peace, whatever it is. And you're simply just using the 10K a month or the aesthetic body or whatever goals you have as a vessel to try and reach your actual goal, which is that desired state. But I said you can reach that desired state without going and actually seeing the results. But how exactly do you do that? You do it through stop focusing on the results, rather focusing on the things that get you the results and focus on that. Focus on developing those. So now, how do you do this? First, identify your goals, not your desired state, but the vessel. So is your goal to get an aesthetic body, 10K a month, get closer to God, whatever it is, identify those goals. Now, ask yourself this: what is the things I need to do? And if I don't do it, I won't achieve these goals. The answer to these questions will be your highest leverage task. So for example, if your goal is to get an aesthetic body, then ask, what are the things I need to do? And if I don't, I won't achieve the aesthetic body. Well, you have to either be in a calorie surplus or deficit, depending on your goals. You have to eat healthy, you have to train hard. And if you're not doing at least one of those, you won't achieve your goal. Like if you want to lose weight, you can't lose weight on a calorie surplus. You have to be in a calorie deficit, or you have to be doing some sort of physical activity to burn off calories, right? You're not gonna lose the weight if you're not eating at a calorie deficit, right? That's a thing you need to do, and if you don't, you can't lose the weight. If you want to build muscle, but you're not training hard, and you're just not gonna build the muscle. So simply identify your goal, then ask, what are the things I need to do? And if I don't, I can't achieve it. Then you just insert your goal there. And you should have at least like 2 to 4 things, and those are your highest leverage tasks. And those are the only things you need to focus on in order to achieve your goals. Keep it simple and plain. Those 2 to 4 things are the only things you should be focusing on, and nothing else if you want to achieve this goal. And you just put as much time and energy into those things as you can. Now, this is where intrinsic rewards come in. When you're doing these highest leverage tasks, instead of framing it in a way that you're doing these highest leverage tasks to reach a reward so you can feel at peace, happiness, fulfillment, whatever your desired emotions are, frame it that these highest leverage tasks are the things that give you peace, happiness, or whatever your desired emotion is. That the highest leverage tasks, that the gym training hard, that the deep work, that the meditating, that the reading, that the outreach, that doing the sales calls for hours on end and doing them is the real peace, not the result. And you can do this by focusing on trying to improve your skills or efficiency on one of those highest leverage tasks. And that constant focus on improving your skills and efficiency rather than trying to see your results will help you feel your desired state, your desired feeling. When you're just focusing on, okay, how can I get better at outreach? How can I get better at scripting? How can I get better at recording videos? What is a better title for this? How can I create a good thumbnail? When you start thinking about the skills rather than the results, you basically will feel that desired result. When you start framing it that this process is what gives you the peace and happiness, you're going to feel peace and happiness because you're telling your brain, okay, when we do these things, when we're developing the skills, we feel the peace. Rather than, okay, once we get the 10K a month, then we'll feel the peace. You're saying, okay, the process of going and creating a good product, or the process of going and doing the outreach is what gives me peace, rather than the 10K a month. And then the 10K a month will follow. Understand that the attachment of a goal creates space and separation from your desired emotions. And if you can simply cut and get rid of the idea that the external influences the internal, and that it's actually the other way around, and that if you feel the peace or the happiness or whatever your desired emotion is, you will achieve the goal. And the only way to properly do this is through the detachment of the goal and the attachment of the process. Constantly learn new ways on how to do this or this. Learn about sales. Oh, this book or video says we should say this instead. Let's try that next time. Or maybe we should switch the split to push-pull legs. Oh, you have to control the eccentric to get more muscle growth. Let's try that next gym session. Oh, this is how you create a good product. This is what I have to focus on to create a good product. Let's do that next time. This constant process of learning and implementing, and you basically gaining knowledge and developing your skills and you basically believing that this process gets you your desired result or desired feeling of fulfillment, peace, happiness, whatever it is what gets you results, not the other way around. Detach from your goals by realizing that you have the power to achieve your desired emotions without it. For example, let's dive into the mind of a nice guy. You want to get the girl because you believe that she will make you happy and she will give you intimacy, right? So you focus on trying to do all those things to impress her and basically like let her get in your pants, right? And you get the flowers, you text her every day, but she's focused on that guy that is fine with or without her. She likes the guy that seems like he doesn't need her, rather wants her. And that's how you should see your goals. Just view them as something that you want. Hey, it's cool if I get that. Hey, it's cool if I get the aesthetic body. Would I rather have the aesthetic body? Sure. Would I rather have the six pack? But I'm at peace. But I'm happy. But I'm fulfilled without it. The thing that gives me true fulfillment is the work. It's the constant development of my skills that gives me fulfillment. So to recap, you intrinsically reward yourself through the work it takes you to get to the desired result, which is your goal, through focusing on the development of your skills, through constantly learning new ways to get better, and then trying those new ways and realizing this is what gives you your desired feelings such as peace or happiness, that you detach from your goals through understanding that the world works internally rather than externally. You don't get the goal. Like, the goal doesn't give you your desired emotions. You give it to yourself, and then you achieve the goal. That is how you achieve your goals. You give yourself your desired emotions that you want from this goal, and then you achieve the goal. Then you work towards the things that will get you towards the goal. But rather than focusing on the results, you focus on like the things that actually get you towards the goal and focus on the development and mastery of those things and realize those are the things that give you actual fulfillment and happiness rather than the results. So if you watch this all the way through, you're my ideal customer. And I want to add that I have free one-on-one coaching calls where I help young guys lost in their journey to self-improvement gain clarity and knowledge on how to actually start progressing in their goals without the uncertainty on whether they will achieve their goal or overcome their roadblocks. So again, it's free. You just book the one-on-one call and we can just talk about whatever you feel like is stopping you from making progress and finally like get into that mode of accelerating. So if you're interested, links in the description below this video. I wish you luck on your journey and peace.